the quad, everything hot, no stopping. HBCU heat, the topic popping. Bell tower rings, time to clock in. Flat stepping loud, boots be knocking. Sweat drips, dreams gripping tight. Dorm rooms alive, clubs unite. Creek let us shine, loud in the night. Pop size wide, futures look bright. White tees, fresh sneaks, all crisp. Black and gold dreams, giving the crisp. Library pack, study hard, academic flair. Part-time jobs, grind, don't stop, busy affairs. Stand on beat, mixing horns with trap. Munch a hornets dance, snapback caps. Pep rallies, ready, spirits never lack. Floss and pride with style, in the swag sack. In the quad, we ain't never gonna stop. In the quad, we always on top. In the quad, feel the music drop. In the quad, boots run deep.
What's going on, HBCU family? It is Wednesday, December 18th, and you are locked into another brand new episode of In the Quad with Nick Eden. I am your host, Nick Eden. Thank you for joining us. And I had this chair for a while, right? I got it right after the election, and I brought it back from Pittsburgh. I cannot stop swinging in this chair. I don't know why. Because the other chair I couldn't move. I couldn't move at all. But anyway, welcome to In the Quad with Nick Eden, the show where we tackle all of the HBCU trending topics across the entire HBCU landscape. Now that's TikTok, Fizz, Fanbase, Facebook, Twitter/X, Instagram, you name it, we're talking about it. And how we do here at In the Quad is we break them down into two parts of the show. The first part of the show is we take those trending topics and condense them into four main topics. All right. The second part of the show, which is my absolute favorite, is our fam topics. This is the portion of the show where you, the viewer, get to submit your questions and or comments. And if it's appropriate, hey, we'll read it. We are back on all of our platforms today after a strongly worded letter to YouTube yesterday. I wake up in the middle of the night on Monday, and it's like, oh yeah, your page has been deactivated and terminated. And I'm like, bro, what the hell I got going on? I hit Hardy up. I'm like, hey man. He was like, submit the appeal. Shit. So I was submitting the appeal. I had to submit two appeals. One to restore the Gmail address, and then the second for the YouTube channel. But shout out to them, they got them done in less than a day. So I thought this was an interesting thing to do. Right before the show, I go out to check my mail, and I have a letter. As you can see, oh wait, hold on, I'm putting oh my God, I am tripping. I didn't see that. I put my whole. I had a letter from FAMU. I don't know why. I was like, why do I have a letter from FAMU? I was like, did I apply to FAMU for grad school? And it's like, no. So I figured, hey, let's open it on the air and see what it's all about. And no, I didn't apply to grad school at FAMU. Let's see. Okay, so this is from the Office of University Advancement. Dear Mr. Nicholas Eden, when a first-generation college student needed scholarship support, say yes to Florida A&M, you helped make this possible. When a bright student had an opportunity to pursue an intellectual passion through research, you helped make that possible too. So many members of the FAMU community understand the importance of giving back to help today's Rattlers rise, and I have enormous gratitude for that support. Thank you for your past generosity. As a member of this family, you are part of a community that is engaged and united in support of FAMU, and the impact you've helped make is unprecedented. Last year, U.S. News and World Report listed FAMU as a top 100 public university. We've also been named the top public HBCU for the sixth consecutive year, and as a Fulbright HBCU institutional leader. These accomplishments would not have been possible without supporters like you who contributed to our FAMU Forever campaign in the past. Even as FAMU rises in these rankings, we need your help now more than ever. So they want me to give some money before the end of the year. I mean, I was nice though. I mean, I you know, Thank you for your past generosity as a member of the Rattler community and for believing that the ambitions of today's FAMU students are worth supporting. Your gift is a shoulder for today's Rattlers to lean on and successfully achieve their dreams. So they want some more money. I get it. I donate to HBCUs all the time. I don't donate just to my own HBCU. I've donated to other ones. Oh, they did give me this. They gave me this like sticker. You know what? I'm going to wait because I told y'all I'm still building out my other set, right? So I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna put this up in the back there in the other set. So, shout out to FAMU. I might, just hey, look, if somebody from FAMU's recruitment officer or one of the alumni members or foundation members is watching, send some more stuff. Give me some pennants. Give me some other stuff that I can put as a part of the set on the show. Ain't nobody gonna send me a helmet. Like I was at crazy because I was wearing this shirt when I was at game day. I was at HBCU game day last year, and I was like, man, I want one of these helmets. I was like, I want that Bama State helmet. Ain't nobody gonna send me a helmet, but I need y'all to send me a helmet or something. But you know what? Shout out to FAMU. That was great. I appreciate that. That was pretty dope. I like getting things in the mail. Like I always take all my Bama State stuff, and I got it. I'm actually probably going to use a lot of my Bama State stuff on the set as well. So shout out to Office of University Advancement, and shout out to Florida A&M for recognizing me as a donor. There's a couple of y'all schools out there that I've given to, and I've never received anything, not even a letter or hell, even a giving statement. But that's fine. I've gotten stuff from FAMU from where I've donated. I've gotten stuff from Jackson State from where I've donated. I've gotten stuff from Tuskegee where I've donated. Clark Atlanta, my Pyru Panthers of Clark Atlanta, Dillard, and there's a few other schools. So I always appreciate it. I always like getting stuff in the mail. Makes me feel important. But it really threw me off because I was like, literally because I just got an email from Alcorn a couple of weeks ago about their MBA. So I'm like, did I apply to FAMU for grad school? No. Anyway, y'all. So, hey, listen. That's a lot going on right now in this space, man. A lot of stuff to be thankful for, a lot of stuff to be happy about. So let's go ahead and get right into it. All right. So this comes to us from our great friends over at HBCU Game Day. Shout out to Steven, Tolly, Simone, the whole crew. HBCU bounce back. Celebration Bowl ratings went way up, all the way up. The Cricket Celebration Bowl roared back in 2024 with a major rating surge as Jackson State defeated South Carolina State for the HBCU football national title, drawing an average of 2.1 million viewers on ABC. This marks a 37% increase from last year's record low numbers and highlights the continued appeal of HBCU football on the national stage. The game, which took place 1 week earlier than a traditional spot due to the college football playoff expansion, peaked at 2.6 million viewers. For comparison, the FCS playoff matchup between Mercer and North Dakota State also aired on ABC and drew, wait for it, 1.4 million viewers. John T. Grant, Executive Director of the Cricket Celebration Bowl, told HBCU Game Day this year's success reaffirms the Celebration Bowl's role as a premier sports showcase for HBCU football. The decision to adjust the game's timing was strategic, and it clearly paid off. We're excited about the momentum this creates, and we continue to elevate the HBCU athletics on a national platform. The Cricket Celebration Bowl, often referred to as Black College Football National Championship, features the champions of the MEAC and SWAC conferences. This year's strong performance comes on the heels of challenging 2023 when the game posted its lowest viewership since its inception in 2015. Last year's contest between FAMU and Howard averaged just 1.53 million viewers, making it a 22% drop from 2022 when Jackson State North Carolina Central matchup drew 2.4 million viewers. I want y'all to go check out that entire article over at HBCU Game Day. Let me say this. There's a couple of things I want to take away from that. First, let's think about it from this standpoint. The historic low of last year's, and so let me put it this way. You got two things to take into account here. You have the attendance, because you got two things you're dealing with when it comes to ESPN, Disney, ABC, the whole nine. You got ESPN events, you got ESPN as a media entity. In order for this to make sense, one got to have like a really, really good rating for the game. The other entity has to have really good attendance. That's the only way those two things make sense. So like last year, you had 41,000 at the game. It was thick. I remember I was there. But you had 1.53 million in viewership, which a million people watching, a million and a half people watching is nothing to shake a stick at. But I will also say this. Last year, even though it was a record low, our record low for the Celebration Bowl was 100,000 viewers more than the FCS championship this year. So even at our lowest, we still, well, I don't want to get into that. The attendance was lower, I want to say it was 38,000. But again, it balanced out. So what does that mean? That means that we are in position, and I'm going to talk about this in my final thoughts just a little bit more. My final thoughts are going to be pretty extensive this week. But it means that we're in prime position as we go into this negotiating period. Now, you know, the word is ESPN is like, hey, we want to get out of the SWAC business. The word is that the MEAC has another or a more robust media rights deal coming up than the one that they currently have with ESPN. I'll say this much. Not to speak on the things that, one, I have not confirmed, but the rumblings from some very good sources. What I will say is Celebration Bowl might just change that conversation. And the addition of Michael Vick to the MEAC may have just changed that conversation. And now ESPN events and ESPN got to sit down and say, we might want to get out of this business, but what are we going to do now? Because that's a bounce back. Great bounce back, by the way. ESPN event seems to be happy with the attendance. So now both elements are there. Now, are there certain things that they can do to beef it up a little bit more? Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, I'll talk about that in final thoughts a little bit later. But shout out to Jackson State. Shout out to South Carolina State for bouncing back those ratings. And I want to know what your thoughts on this, because there's a big debate going on Twitter right now. Hit me on Twitter at Nick Eden or Instagram. Let me know, about the ratings, your thoughts. Guys, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be back in the middle of our main topics. Seneca with Nick Eden.
World needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just true love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Wow. Hey, Jay, this project might need a bit of zhuzhing. Holla back, Warren.
Please let me know your thoughts. Best regards, Warren.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family,
buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're going to make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with hope.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So this morning, I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event, taking a test drive. When Dave, the sales guy, is like, you're gonna love this. He shows me the best-in-class fuel economy and lets me know it's recommended by Consumer Reports. When Dave says, these cars are going fast, I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000, like Rogue, with 2.9% financing for 60 months.
"17 minutes past the hour. You are locked into In the Quad with Nick Eden. Y'all, we are right in the middle of our main topics. And I'm ask you a question. I just somebody just liked a tweet of mine from February of this year. And I was on one that day. I told some people to go touch some grass. Hey, when y'all tell people to go touch some grass, do you actually expect them to go outside? Actually go outside and put their hands on the grass and be like, I just wonder, because to me it's my way of telling them screw you, but maybe that's just me. Y'all, we are right in the middle of our main topics, and our next main topic comes to us from HBCU Buzz, and it's about a school that over the last year and a half, I would say, I've become really, really impressed with overall as an institution, with their sports programs, just across the board, and that is Southern University of New Orleans. This comes to us from HBCU Buzz. Shout out to Ashley Brown for this article. HBCU launches groundbreaking bachelor's degree in data science. Southern University at New Orleans has announced the launch of Louisiana's inaugural bachelor's degree in data science. The groundbreaking initiative is designed to equip students with essential skills for the booming field of data analysis. The innovative program aims to bridge the skills gap in various sectors, preparing graduates for high-demand careers increasingly rely on data-driven decision-making. Chancellor Ammons Jr. expressed his enthusiasm about the historic milestone, stating, "This program will empower students with cutting-edge skills to excel and lead in any industry. It will serve as a transformative milestone for Louisiana, laying the foundation for the future of technology education. As the first program of its kind in the state, it will empower students to become trailblazers in data science, equipping them with the skills and confidence to shape industries and redefine possibilities. By fostering innovation and championing diversity, it will open doors to unparalleled opportunities and set a new standard for educational excellence." Amen. And I don't want to take up the whole time doing the article because I want y'all to actually go. I do this because I actually want y'all to go and read the articles, right? But they got a pretty flexible program. It does cater to adult learners. Thank you. So I want to check this out a little bit more because it hold on one sec. It does cater to adults, and it is groundbreaking. It's the first of its kind in Louisiana. So shout out to the Southern University system. You know that Southern University system is the only HBCU university system in the country. So shout out to them for that. And shout out to them for having such a groundbreaking opportunity. And don't get me wrong, I know what y'all here for, but we do have to talk about this thing coming up with the Black College Football Hall of Fame. This comes to us from our good friend, Mr. Kyle T. Mosley, my good brother Kyle. He just texted me that. Black College Football Hall of Fame. This is coming from HBCU legends on Sports Illustrated. Black College Football Hall of Fame announces induction of 6 HBCU legends, one of which I threw a little bit of shade at this past week. So I'm sorry. Y'all see the names, man. Y'all see the names. And, the Black College Football Hall of Fame announces 16 class today. The class 2025. 6 inductees were selected from a list of 28 finalists who have been determined earlier by the Black College Hall of Fame Selection Committee. What we have with the class 25 is an incredible showcase of the talent that has come from historically Black colleges and universities over the years, said Black College Hall of Fame founder and 2011 inductee Doug Williams. When the Black College Hall of Fame was established, its purpose was to do just this, elevating and recognizing the past, present, and future of the Black College football. Congratulations to the class of 25. The votes were tallied from the 9-member selection committee comprised of prominent journalists, commentators, and historians, as well as former NFL general managers and executives, and from members of the Black College Hall of Fame to determine the inductees. Class 25 will be honored at the 16th Annual Black College Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony presented by the Atlanta Falcons on June 7, 2025 in Atlanta, Georgia. I will see you there, Atlanta. They will also be recognized at halftime of the All-State HBCU Legacy Bowl on February 22nd at Yulman Stadium in New Orleans, Louisiana, which will be broadcast live on the NFL Network at 3 p.m. Central. I'll also see y'all there. I put a list on Instagram of all the places that y'all can catch me in 2025. And that list is growing, but I can absolutely tell you Black College Hall of Fame is going to be one, HBCU Legacy Bowl, SWAC MEAC Challenge. Don't know if they're going to let me in the media day. We'll see. We'll see. I'll be going after folks. I think they just, whatever reason. But shout out to them. And if you are going to be on this HBCU tour next year, catch me in one of those places. Let's grab a drink. I think I might do like a meetup. I know I'm definitely going to do a meetup in New Orleans. I want to do like a Bourbon Street bar crawl. So get out, have a couple drinks, let our hair down and hang out and have fun for once instead of fighting all the time on Twitter. All right, y'all. It is official. Y'all know what it is. Michael Vick, Mike Vick, MV7, has made Norfolk State, did I say it right, y'all? Norfolk State University his home. He's headed back to his home state. He's headed to an HBCU, and he is legitimately going, in my opinion, going to change the game at Norfolk. Now, or Norfolk, or what, however y'all from, I don't, listen. We're going back and forth with VA folks about how to pronounce this. Norfolk. That's the most y'all getting out of me. I mean, it is what it is. He did confirm this, for those, because I'm gonna go ahead and say this real quick. He confirmed it yesterday on his Facebook page. It's an honor to announce that I'll be the new head coach at Norfolk State University. Looking forward to coming back home. Now, some of y'all went out of y'all's way to post from any other source other than the ones who gave Scotty credit for breaking the story. And somebody asked about this in Fam Topic, so I'm not going to talk about it right now. But I will just say, dude, he broke the story. And he broke the details of the story. And he told you that there was a PWI coming in. And he had talked to someone specifically in Vick's camp. Everything he said came to fruition. And everybody was so much in their feelings about it that it's like, I don't want to give him credit for that. I'm going to tell you a little bit later how that's kind of anti-Black, but we'll get to it in a second. There's a couple things with this hire that I think we need to discuss first. The first thing, this needed to happen, and it needed to happen at an HBCU because of the way that Mike Vick had been treated largely in the media. I mean, Listen, y'all can love off script and y'all can hate off script. One thing I have said all the time, you can call him a lot of things. You just can't call him a liar. You can't call him a liar. Everything about this story from beginning to end was true. And he broke it 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, he broke this story. But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that in final thoughts. Let me tell you why this is important and why we have to, one, get out of our own way as HBCU alums and supporters for a few reasons. First, him going to Sac State, I thought was going to be crazy. It was going to be crazy. Because if y'all are online like I am, you've already seen, they've already started making the dog references and turning the Trojans into the pit bulls and all this kind of crap. He's been dealing with that stuff from mainstream media for years and mainstream fans, aka white folks. Let's call it what it is. Not all, though. I got a funny story about that. But he needed to be with his folks. It's not that we don't love dogs. Okay, look, we love dogs. We know that. Well, we're not going to hold somebody to a mistake because we as a people have been held to mistakes. Sometimes mistakes that we didn't even make. Sign boom, I'm going to address this one time, then I'm going to go. Neither here or there, but he wasn't the first person that put me onto the rumors. He didn't have to be the first person that put you onto the rumors. He's the first person who broke the actual story. Y'all have got to stop twisting y'all arms not to just give credit where credit's due. Because even, and to your point, I got a text about it probably the day before Scotty talked about it on the show, saying that Mike Vick was coming to, or possibly coming to Norfolk. I'm not going to break a story. That's not what I do. But he was spot on about Vic going there. He was spot on about the PWI offer. He was spot on about Vic leaning towards Norfolk. He was spot on about it being confirmed. And nobody else was. Nobody else had the full story but off script. You don't have to like him, but let's just come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Y'all, come on. Anyway, like I said, love him or hate him, that's your business, but I will always give credit where credit is due. But so again, we've been held to things, and Mike Vick needed to be around his folks. Mike Vick needed to be back home. He's going to have the type of support at Norfolk that Tennessee State has given to Eddie George. We knew before that Eddie George was a TSU guy, well, a Tennessee guy, not a Tennessee State guy. And, so while I don't think this is going to be the pomp and circumstance level that it was with Coach Prime at Jackson State, I do think it will probably sit right in the middle of where Eddie George is with Tennessee State and where Prime was with Jackson State. You're going to have not a revolving door, but you're going to have a line down the street like it's First Fridays. You're going to have a line down the street of QBs waiting to get in there. You are. His mind, for those of us who watched him with the Falcons, I used to hate him with the Falcons. Loved him as a player, but as a Saints fan, I was like, bro, this dude's killing me. Loved him when he got a chance to go to the Eagles. His mind for this, his ability to recruit, especially in his home state and the surrounding states, is going to be key. And I do think that we are going to see a turnaround with the program. It's funny that I think we're going to see a program turnaround. And maybe it's not immediate. Maybe it's not. Does Norfolk win the MEAC next year? I don't necessarily say that's the case, but stranger things have happened. South Carolina State. So we shall see. But I think his standing with the community, his standing with Black folks overall, the level in which he goes, and us knowing that he never really got that fair shake after everything happened, I think he's going to have a lot of institutional support, and I think he's going to have a lot of community support. I think it's going to be great. Now, I will say this. Let me just go ahead and put it out there right now. Because somebody asked me a couple weeks ago if I thought that HBCU Alumni United, the group on Facebook, was just as toxic as Rough and the Swag. I see there are elements of it that are. And let me explain to you one of the elements of it that really is toxic. Even up until yesterday, he doesn't have a bachelor's degree, so he shouldn't get the job. Sac State didn't give a damn about that. Now, from my understanding, he does have the bachelor's degree. Now, he does. Once his degree was conferred, everything's good to go. That's from my understanding. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on it. But even if he didn't, y'all, the level of pompousness that we have sometimes as HBCU graduates is ridiculous. And let me say this, and this is the God honest truth. What you do in the midst of that, because see, it's a lot of your friends and a lot of your acquaintances that attended the HBCU. They are members of the Alumni Association. They support the school financially, but they didn't finish. They didn't graduate. And you come off like a pompous asshole. Sorry, sponsors, but I'm just going to say it. You come off like a pompous asshole. And you spit in the face of those people that you call friends when you do that. As a person who consults people, not only their children on going to college, but a lot of times the parents on going back and finishing, you would be surprised at how many people did not graduate from their HBCUs and y'all just didn't know it. But then you get around them or you tweet about it or you talk about it on Facebook and you talk about people who didn't finish at their HBCUs like a dog. And then you wonder why people won't support us. Here's an interesting stat. Over 70% of the season ticket holders at the University of Alabama have never stepped foot into the institution as a student. Now, I've seen y'all board of trustee meetings, all of them. I've seen, with the exception of Bethune and private. I've seen the banter online. I've seen a lot of your fake, y'all kill me with these public alumni groups. I've seen a lot of it. And you all will complain, nobody buying tickets. We need to push season tickets. We need to do this. We need to do that. I wonder what would happen if the University of Alabama had to rely solely on its student and alumni base and kept the same type of energy that we sometimes keep towards people who did not graduate from our institutions. Something to think about. Add to the fact that you got people who did graduate from the institution and have never lifted a finger, put a dollar or a dime back to it. And you hold them in higher regard than the person that shows up every day for your HBCU. How dare you? Absolutely, how dare you? I invite everyone who wants to come and support Alabama State University. Everyone. I appreciate it. I see what it's done for the institution. See, I see the growth of the school, and I've seen the growth of the campus since my time at Mother Dear. I'm glad you said that, Simon. Well, never thought the degree thing was a big deal. It can be worked out if need be. Because see, here's the other thing about it. Your own institutions disagree with you. Because for most, if you've attended the school for more than a semester or more than a year, you are considered an alumnus. And they can join the Alumni Association. There are many people who serve on the board of trustees that are not alums of the schools. So my point is, and I'm going to talk about that. You talked about it can be worked out if need be. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Whether Michael Vick had a degree or not was not the barrier. And I have to disagree with my friend, Erica. I love you to death. But saying he bought that degree real quick, no. And you and I have had these conversations. Yes, I'm calling you out publicly on this. Love you to death, but I'm calling you out publicly on this. Can't wait to get a tweet or a text about this. You and I have had the conversations where I've explained to you about competency-based education and how I want y'all to know, because I have three students right now. Well, not students, they're friends of mine that I've taken on in a consulting capacity for free. And right now, they are at a university that has a competency-based program, and I put them in position where they could earn that degree. Some of them came from scratch. Some of them had previous credits, but they earn a degree in an 8-week term. See, I follow the trends of higher education. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm in my master's program for now. And this is what I will be going into my doctorate program for, to design such programs. Because you got 40 million Americans out there right now who are classified, some college, no credentials, no associates, no bachelors, nothing. Do you have to be some type of competence to how to command an NFL? Absolutely. At the highest level. I do not understand how you can criticize someone who has played this game at the highest level. Legitimately one of the most memorable players in the history of this game. And you're telling me that he is not competent or qualified enough to lead a team? Because this is no, it is what it is. Sorry, Coach Odoms. You got a degree and plenty of experience. And it didn't work out for Norfolk. And that's the case with a lot of experienced coaches with bachelors and masters and doctorates, and that's great. And it still didn't work out. So that's to your point, All Black. But back to the original thing about the degree. No, they didn't just buy a degree. It is possible. We have been talking about this now since the rumblings. So I can say we can confidently say it's been about 3 or 4 weeks. From my understanding, this has been in the works for a long time. The consideration of becoming a coach and knowing that that's going to be the barrier of entry to it. And if I can take 3 people, 2 of which had 0 previous credits, and get them to a bachelor's degree in 4 months, start to finish, then yeah, it is more than possible. It's not just buying a degree. But my overall point is, we can't muck this up, because let me tell you what we did muck up with Prime. Matter of fact, we're going to take a commercial break, and I'm going to tell you where we muck things up with Coach Prime when I come back. It's In the Quad with Nick E.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday.
I got you something.
We said no gift. We had to get you something.
Thank you, honey.
I got you this.
Did you do this yourself?
Yeah, I had a great teacher.
Happy birthday. I love you. I love you too.
Love you. Thank you.
This is from me to you.
I am genius.
Wow. Hey, Jay, this project might need a bit of zhuzhing. Hallebeck, Warren.
Please let me know your thoughts. Best regards, Warren.
I am genius.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
Amazon fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon Fall Favorites now.
Hey, sweet new gear. It's like Best Buy hooked you guys up.
Pretty sick, right?
What is that?
That's our traveling trophy. Oh, that's what's up, man.
Ah, a goat for the goats. Fits these pro-level setups.
Last year's trophy.
Not a goat.
Nope.
What if you could get all the latest and greatest gaming gear from one place?
"41 minutes past the hour. It is In the Quad with Nick Eden. Hey, real quick, shout out to Mel at HBCU Pass. Let me go ahead and upload this real quick. Hey, listen, I love it. I absolutely love it. And this goes into where we muck things up. Absolutely goes into where we muck things up. Let me go ahead and get that in there. There we go. All right. This comes straight. Thank you. Shout out again. Mel, HBCU Pass. Appreciate you, brother. This goes straight from the job description. The successful candidate. Hold on, let me take that comment down. The successful candidate will be responsible to ensure compliance with NSU, Commonwealth of Virginia, NCAA, and MEAC rules, regulations, and policies. Minimum qualifications: degree in higher education or equivalent professional playing experience or 7 years collegiate coaching experience. Demonstrated experience with student-athlete development. Proven record of adherence to NCAA academic and compliance regulations. A successful criminal background check is required. And boom goes the dynamite. So for the last 3 weeks while this has been rumored, you got all these folks. Well, he's got no degree. He's got no degree. No degree, no job. Somebody literally said that yesterday, 2 minutes before the announcement was made. No degree, no job. For us to be so educated, boy, sometimes we'll speak on some shit without even thinking about it or not even doing any type of due diligence. Now, y'all gonna tell me he didn't have the relevant experience? Is that what y'all gonna sit here and tell me now? What's the excuse now, folks? Ladies and gentlemen, what's the excuse now? For someone who transcended the quarterback position, I can guarantee also. You're right. Listen, I got my little cousin who plays football at Long Beach High School in Long Beach, Mississippi. He's like, I want to look at Norfolk now. Because athletes want to play for people who have done it at the level in which they are trying to get to. I mean, what else are we talking about here? You just saw Teddy Bridgewater take his high school team to a state championship. What are we talking about here, y'all? What are we talking about? This is what I mean. And so this goes into how we can, again, shout out to HBCU Pass. Please make sure y'all follow them on X. A lot of great things, a lot of great content. This is where we can't muck these things up. I understand there's a little bit of a sting from Coach Prime. Maybe not him personally. Some people, for him, it is him personally. But from a lot of his fan base who came in, who kind of just, it's like when somebody walk in your house and they got their feet on the coffee table, or they got their feet up on the couch and their shoes still. Hey man, get that down. What's wrong with you? But we cannot just come in and just automatically be on attack mode. I'm pretty sure there's a delineation between Alabama students, graduates, alums, and a lot of Alabama fans. A lot of Alabama fans have never stepped foot on that campus. The same thing for UGA, Texas A&M, Clemson, Ohio State. Look, Notre Dame. I've been hearing about the Fighting Irish. I grew up in Gulfport, Mississippi, and I've been hearing about the Fighting Irish since I was 7 or 8 years old. It's what comes with the territory. So you can't say that you want us to get the exposure and the money that comes with it that we deserve and not realize that there's going to be an external element that's coming in that no, they didn't walk the halls like you. No, they didn't walk across the stage like you. No, they didn't sit in registration for long hours like I did at Alabama State. I was just talking to my nieces about that the other day. No, they did not experience that the way that you did. But if they're coming there and they're spending money and they're supporting the team, they're supporting the institution, I don't see what's wrong with it. Are they going to say something that you don't like? Sure. I don't. I think that Teddy Bridgewater feels like he has unfinished business. And, I felt that way because I felt like we should have given him a chance at the Saints. I thought he was an incredible game manager. I think when Drew Brees went down, he stepped in a way that I'm forever grateful for it. I think he feels like he has unfinished business there in the NFL. I don't know who is going to take him. That's one thing. But the other part of it is he's shown that he can coach. And I think it makes him more in demand as a coach than it did as a player. But my overall point in this is we can't muck this up. We have an incredible opportunity here. Like I said, I feel like this is going to be at a level just a little bit higher than Tennessee State. And mainly because Eddie George is very low key. And Eddie George is also a success. This is not to say that Mike Vick wasn't a success. He absolutely was. But he's kind of had this dark cloud over him. So I think that we are rooting for Mike Vick just at a higher level. And he's going home. You know what I mean? So I think it's gonna parallel Eddie George a little bit more than it does Deion, but I think it's gonna have more of a profile than Eddie George. So yeah, let's show up for him, but let's not also shun the other people who show up for him as well. I have friends of mine who knew nothing about HBCUs, or it just didn't really register on their radar, and they're so excited about this because they're Mike Vick fans. Let them come in. And I have a friend of mine that, listen, lifelong Mike Vick fan, long as he's been in the league, and absolutely. When she was in Atlanta, and she's from Detroit, hardcore Lions fan. When Mike Vick was in Atlanta, she had a Vick jersey. When he was in Philly, she had a Vick jersey. She actually had one of the ones that was like half Atlanta, half Philly. It's cold. You think she ain't gonna have Norfolk gear? You think she ain't gonna be at them games? And she got money. She got money. For travels all over this world. Yeah, absolutely big hire for Norfolk State. I think the only real problem we're gonna have is trying to figure out how the hell to pronounce it. But so look, man. Again, let's not muck this one up. Let's get this one right. I think we got Eddie George right. Let's get this one right too. And so while I'm on that subject, bam, it is time for our fam topics. Because y'all been dropping them in the comments. That's why I'm loving the YouTube aspect of this, and I can't wait to roll out chats on the UEN app. Let's go ahead and talk about these real quick, because I do want to get to these to my final thoughts really quickly. All right, so what we got first? They already started with the Pitbull mess. Listen, and there's a correlation, because I've seen them. MAGA Twitter is all over this. Now, I will say this. I remember when I was working at TGI Fridays as a trainer, and a former governor of Georgia came in. He and his cousin or something like that. And I'm sitting there talking to him. This is right after the whole Vic thing blew up. And I mean, honestly, I was expecting him to be like everybody else. And I asked him, I was like, well, you tell me, what do you... No, they asked me, they're like, what do you think of the whole Mike Vick situation? I said, I think it's unfortunate, but I do think that he's a talented guy. I think that, he still deserves a good chance at a career. I don't think that that's a career. It should be a career killer for anybody. And this former governor, which I will not name, looked me dead in my eye and said, man, F them dogs. He said, man, F them dogs. I was trying to get to the Super Bowl. So not everybody thinks about it, but you got the folks that's already out there with the mess, man. All right, what else we got? Is the MEAC the new powerhouse with Trey, Chinnis, and MV7? I think in its own right, the MEAC was already a powerhouse. I think they have some things that they got to sort out institution-wise. I know there's some schools coming. No, I'm not going to speak on that part. But I think they're already a powerhouse in their own right. Obviously, they hold the record for the Celebration Bowl right now, the all-time record, even though SWAC holds the record for the all-time record for the Heritage Bowl. So we'll see. But there's something to this that I'm going to bring this. Okay, I'm going to bring this fam topic back up. Probably this specific one, probably like mid-January, because by then it's going to hit completely different. All right, what else we got? We need to protect Mike. It's about to be a ton of folks who don't care about HBCUs popping up in this space right now. I halfway agree with you. We need to protect Mike. Yes, I think we need to protect him from how he's going to be treated by the media. But even people don't have to necessarily care. Here's the deal. People can learn to love an institution and to love. I know plenty of people who did not go to HBCUs and they absolutely love and adore HBCUs. A lot of times they're just not welcomed in the space. Look, we know how to clap back at somebody. All I'm asking us as HBCU grads, alums, all I'm asking us to do is just give them a chance. Don't give them the mom grocery store talk as soon as they walk in the door. They walk in the door ready to support you. Like, all right, don't look at anything, don't touch anything, you ain't getting anything. Don't do that to them. Because they're going to clap back the same way I would clap back. And let's be real. A lot of you gatekeepers out there, you got a PWI team that you ain't never stepped foot into the institution for. I'll sit there and watch y'all have these same conversations about gatekeeping HBCUs and then turn right back around. You turn right back around and start talking about Ohio State. And start talking about Florida and Miami. Oh, yeah, because that, this my, Alabama's my SEC team. This is it. So you do the same thing, but you get mad at somebody that's not of HBC culture. Come on, man. Come on. Let's get real. Here. What we got next? For all that media talk, they don't want to give him credit. And that just kind of is what it is. Nick, I think it'll be okay with the Vic Ets because Vic is from the area. First off, Vic Ets is insane. we got to come up with another name because Vic Ets is absolutely insane. Y'all, we're going over the hour. I'm telling you that now. I'm going to go ahead and do this last commercial break. I'll be back with my final thoughts. It's in the Quad with Nick Eden.
Technology lets you monitor your pet when you're not at home. But to monitor threats to your hybrid workforce wherever they are, you need more than technology. You need CDW, who gets to know your business and can design and deploy custom solutions with pre-configured HP notebooks with HP Wolf Security. AI-enabled threat detection and remote management protect your endpoints 24/7, giving your defenses some real teeth.
Bummer.
HP makes always-on remote security possible. CDW makes it powerful.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So this morning, I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event, taking a test drive. When Dave, the sales guy, is like, "You're gonna love this." He shows me the best-in-class fuel economy and lets me know it's recommended by Consumer Reports. When Dave says, "These cars are going fast," I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000, like Rogue with 2.9% financing for 60 months.
No charger?
It's a Mac. The battery lasts all day. See you next week.
All right, y'all, 57 minutes after the hour, you're locked into Inequality with Nick Eden. Just let you know we are going over the hour. I can agree with that. When you're invited to the cookout, don't continue to complain about all the food. I agree with that to an extent. Because let's be real, we do the same thing. Y'all. We do the same thing. Anyway, so final thoughts. This is not a sports conversation. This is an institution conversation because we love our institutions. We are going to have to start embracing the future. Okay? We're going to have to start embracing the future. And the future comes in a few ways. The future comes in support from people who did not graduate from our institutions. The future comes in people who do not take a traditional path to a degree with our institutions. And the future's online. Let's make no mistake about this. HBCU enrollment overall trending up. HBCU applications trending up. Even with that, there's never been more than 12% of Black people who attend HBCUs. That's where it's peaked. It's between 9 and 12%. So the vast majority of Black folks in this country did not attend HBCUs. We know the largest, being North Carolina A&T, still peaks at 12,000. Let's put that into perspective. Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College has about 20,000 students enrolled. And for most of y'all have never heard of it. South Texas College has an enrollment of about 35,000. Most of y'all have never heard of it. We cannot be so scared of losing tradition that we do not advance our universities. That fear is what has St. Augustine's University sitting with 200 students and no accreditation. That fear has Barber Scotia College in a severe rebuild mode. Shout out to President Ray. That fear has Knoxville College sitting with no accreditation. That fear has Selma University sitting with about 50 students and no accreditation. Because we are not willing to evolve and expand, it puts us in a position to where it's hard for us to get over the hump. And a good friend of mine, Robert Patrick, said this best probably about a year ago this time. Blew my mind when he said it. So you got to realize that some tradition is simply peer pressure from the grave. We have to embrace online programs faster than we are. Because what's funny is we'll accept them for our terminal degrees and anything post-bachelor's. But for whatever reason, there's this fear that somehow we have these robust online programs the way that Arizona State does or the way that Western Governors does, that somehow it will dilute what we are and who we are. I'm going to tell you something. As a person who is in this space of education consulting, what I run across countless times is people who are going back to school with previous credits, and they're like, you know what, man, I always wanted to go to an HBCU. Unfortunately, I go through and I've tried to deep dive, and I'll be putting out some more content about this, but I've tried to deep dive on the programs that will allow them to do it. But it's just a couple things that when it's compared to other schools and other programs, it just doesn't make sense for them to go to the HBCU. I get it. But they want it. And they get targeted and pursued by a lot of for-profit colleges and a lot of nonprofit online colleges. And when they get that degree, they are as happy as I'm. Man, look, they get the degree, they come out with higher grades, they graduate, so it increases the graduation level. Like we just have to get to a point where we embrace the future. We cannot house every Black student in this country. We're going to have robust online programs. Again, it's 40 million Americans with some college, no degree. Why we can't be at the forefront of that, why we can't use that to address the lack of Black male teachers in this country, why we can't do that to address the lack of people who, because for a lot of folks, the degree is simply so they could get a promotion at their job. The federal government, think about it like this. Black women are the most educated workforce in this country. Most enrolled. They're also the second biggest hire. So retail and the federal government are the two biggest employers of Black women in this country. One of the biggest barriers of entry, not having a degree for promotion. And I know a whole bunch of sisters who went to Columbia Southern, who went to Western Governors, went to University of Phoenix, went to Strayer, Charter Oak, Thomas Edison State University, University of Maine, Presque Isle, so they could get that degree, so they got the experience, but that barrier of entry was the bachelor's. And then the next barrier of entry was the master's. So why not for our people? Why not make this help bring these barriers down? That's what HBCUs were about anyway. HBCUs as a concept is the most innovative thing to ever happen to education in the United States of America. The most innovative, the most progressive. So now we're going to stop innovating? And my final word on this, because I don't think it's right that some people are treated like this. If you are in earshot or in eyesight of this podcast right now, if you can hear my voice, if you can see this ugly face, and you started your college journey at an HBCU, but you did not finish, and you would like to finish, I am asking you, whether it's at that HBCU, at another HBCU, or if you just want to finish the bachelor's degree, you don't really mind where it is. I want you to reach out to me. Hit me on Facebook. Hit me on Twitter. Email. My email is in my Gmail account. It's in my link tree. Click the link tree in the bio. nickeden@gmail.com. It's pretty simple. Reach out to me. I will help get you started, and I'm not charging anybody to do this. Now, once I get this master's and this doctorate, that's going to be a whole... But no, seriously, I do not want another person to have that feeling of shame because you couldn't finish at your school or at another school. I do not want you working another job where you've got all the experience in the world, you've got all the leadership skills in the world, but they keep you at this place because you don't have that piece of paper. I promise you, I can find you a quick and affordable option to finish your degree. As some of y'all have reached out to me, and I've suspected for a while that maybe you didn't finish yours. What we talk about, which is why I'm saying don't at me, send me a private message. What we talk about and the path that you go on, even if you just finish and you never talk about it, this is completely between us. It's between you and I. I will help get you on the path to finishing your degree. So I'm asking you to make that step for yourself. I got plenty of folks that can vouch for me. I know what the hell I'm doing. Well, more than that, I just want to see you have that opportunity and that chance. I want to see you hold that degree in your hand. I got my wall up here. I look at my degrees every time I pass because my office is kind of open. I look at my degrees every day because I know what it took to get it. I know the feeling of holding it, clutching it, knowing that I accomplished this. And I want y'all to have the same thing. So reach out to me. Reach out to me. I will put you on a path to it. I promise you I will. And for those who would be detractors, those who, for some reason think think it's a flex. I'll be honest, man, y'all can go to hell. Because how you treat folks in that manner is anti-Black. And I'm sick of it. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. No, I ended on a very serious note. Y'all don't forget to like and subscribe if you're on the HBCU Plus Twitter. Download the UEN app. Follow HBCU Plus and Urban Edge _net on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Nick Eden. On IG at Nick Eden, same on Fanbase. And I will see you all same time tomorrow.